Screw Ubisoft, man. Screw Ubisoft. There was something that just came out the other day where executives, I think it was literally today, yesterday, by the time, I think it was today whenever I'm recording this, but yesterday whenever this is being uploaded. But Ubisoft has said that gamers and consumers do not own their games, and they should get used to that. Despite the fact that when you purchase a copy of a game, it is in your possession. Therefore, it is under your ownership, especially if it is physical. If it is digital, you have a very specific authorization code that is specific to your account, therefore counting as technical ownership. With many different things, you can have a code to a gift card. Technically, that gift card is yours, even if you do not have a physical gift card. If you have that code, it is yours, and you can then give it to another because of your proof of purchase. All I have to say is if... I can't wait to say this. If owning your games is not owning them, then piracy is not stealing them. That is how that would work. Because that would simply mean that you're going about another way of obtaining said authorization code to play it. If it's still technically yours in just a different way, it's not stealing, now is it? Now, I believe that if you have hard times and if you can buy other games in other ways, then you should support, games and indie developers and so on. But if you can't afford it and you really want to play a game and games are your way of going about it, finding a different way to do it is perfectly okay. That's what I'm going to say. But yeah, fuck Ubisoft. I'm close enough into the into the game or into the video to say that. Fuck Ubisoft. Like, they have not made a decent game, in my opinion, since Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 4. So, yeah, Mirage, I don't know if it's good. Apparently, I've heard a lot of really good things, and kudos to the developers, not the producers, fucking Ubisoft. I've heard a lot of really good things about, Mirage, about how it's a very, very great depiction of the Golden Age of Islam, and that is a time in history that many, many people should learn about. It is a wonderfully prosperous time for scientific innovation, and it is especially very fascinating time because it was not a time of extreme religiousness, as one might expect from it being called the Golden Age of Islam. If anything, it was a very big era of skepticism and looking through the beliefs of Islam to look at a idea for spirituality, like looking through the physical world through like spirituality, and that is something that a lot of people need. And also, apparently, you can hear multiple dialects whenever like walking through bazaars and so on in Mirage, so that's very cool. But anyway, back to the main point at hand. There has been more and more fiascos about this, and I'm not a commentary channel. This is purely me giving my opinion, because fuck this shit, bro. Fuck this. Like, I will only make a video if I think that I want my opinion out there, and I am very, very adamant in my opinions that I hold. Like, more and more corporations are coming out where they are literally stripping people of their ownership of things purely because they are digital, despite the fact that something being digital is just as valid of ownership as something that's like physical. That would be like yeah, not out of the question that they wouldn't do this, but that would be like Apple revoking all of your Apple Music, saying that, well, actually they're ours and your time with them is just done. Thank you for paying for them, right? Like, you can only do this if it's a subscription-based thing, and there is nothing to my knowledge, within PlayStation's, like, or Ubisoft's, like, contractual things, or EULA, where it's like, hey, actually, we can revoke it at any time. Unless it's legal mumbo jumbo where it's like, well, technically, like just looping back around and lawyering the shit out of it. But yeah, it's fucked up. I'm just going to keep saying that. It's fucked up. Like, imagine having the PS4. And I know this might sound a little outrageous, but this is a reality for many, many people. Imagine the PS4 is your one thing. You don't own a Blu-ray player. You don't own a DVR. You don't own a cable box. You own a PS4. That is something that a lot of people do. And I knew a lot of people growing up that only owned an Xbox or a PS4. And they played movies through it. They played shows. They bought shows and would play them on that thing. And would also watch YouTube through it. And then suddenly, their digital ones are gone? How the fuck is that fair to them? There goes their entertainment. Now, I know there's the argument to be made by a lot of people that entertainment is just something that fogs the mind, but we all need entertainment. You could go back millions of years, 150,000 years ago. We've been able to find evidence of people literally just doing shit because they were bored. We can watch monkeys do shit in the wild that has no pertinence to survival. They just do it because they want to. And corporations taking away that fundamental part of, like, the human condition, as kind of esoteric and philosophical as that sounds. I'm not trying to make it sound more important than it is, but like that is something that's fundamental. And it's sometimes because of how poor people are and living paycheck to paycheck, they can only afford a PlayStation and so on, and they buy digitally. And now suddenly they are losing access to those digital things because PlayStation was like, no. They buy, maybe they were fans of Assassin's Creed, and they're like, hey, let's give the new Assassin's Creed a try. 4 months later, give me another fee. You're playing through Mirage, and an ad pops up. Ain't that fun? Like, an invasion of the senses is what advertising is. Like, it is literally just, and I'm just saying, for the record, right, there are some good ads out there, like, right, the concept of ads as a whole is not bad. It is you putting your services out there, and getting attention. Hell, every fucking thumbnail is basically like an advertisement. It is me trying to draw you into my shit, right? But it becomes a problem when it is an invasion of the senses. There is no way to escape it. It is forced upon you that it becomes bad. Like, if I get a sponsorship ever in the future, fucking, like, I don't know, what's a common, like, G Fuel? I don't know if I'd ever do G Fuel, but, like, it's like, oh, this video is sponsored by G Fuel, or some shit like that. Like, you could just skip ahead, right? If I had the option, I'd put it at the end of the video, so that it doesn't interrupt anything, right? That's good on me, because I don't want to interrupt your stuff and invade your time while watching a video. I will put it at the end. And so there would still be plenty of people that watch to the very end and so on, and you're still getting your time. Those are still viewers that are seeing your product or whatever, right? But yeah, just utter bullshit of being able to strip away somebody's shit like that and have it not be a good reason beyond it's like, well, it's digital. That would be like, and it's happened before. Like, there have been games out there that have just been taken off the App Store, or people aren't able to use anymore, and there's been outrage over it. I remember there's a game that I really liked to play when I was younger. It was called Infinity Blade. It was an awesome hack and slash mobile game, one of the best mobile games. It was gotten awards for best mobile game out there, and it's not on the Apple Store anymore. Epic took it down, and that's that's horrible because Infinity Blade is still having references made to it in Fortnite to this day. But there's no way. It was one of the reasons why I wanted an iPhone in the first place was to fucking play it. $900 just so I can play a mobile game. But I needed a new phone anyway. But yeah, it sucks all around, and you're going to see more of this as it keeps going, unless we the people stand up for it, right? We make outcries, we boycott, we say that shit, this ain't right. And one of the ways that you can show your disdain for this is through finding alternate ways of getting video games, whether that be through third-party sites or other ways. Like, we have to show that we aren't just numbers. We aren't just like objects to grind money out of in this like corporate environment. We are more than that. We are still people, right? And we need to be treated with that dignity of like being allowed to own shit that we buy with our hard-earned money, right? Like, come on. Yeah, and that's about it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any thoughts down below, put it down there. It's a hard time out here, and hopefully there's call to actions, and we get to see that it doesn't keep going. So, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Click!